YouTube. I'm coming back as promised with the other 5 things of the things you need to know when dating over 40. All right, let's get into this video. All right, so if you caught the first part of this, then this is a continuation. But if not, then somewhere down here below in the descriptions, I'm going to make sure, or I'm going to pop it up in the corner sometimes up in this video to make sure that you have the link to check out the first 5 things that I push. So instead of me calling 10 things at one time or saying 5 and then the next 6 through 10, I just said 5 things and then the other 5 things. All right, video. All right. The 5 things that you need to know when dating over 40. Don't take things personal. All right. You know, people are in their lives. They go about their day. When we get a certain age, you know, first of all, as women, we do get emotional, right? Because we're going through that empty nest syndrome. We're feeling emotional because we're going through the changes of life. And we're just always in our feelings, right? So women, don't take things so personal, okay? Because men, they're used to being men, right? They're used to being, you know, men. They've had to live their life being men, manly men, right? So they may say some things that may hurt your feelings, or you take to heart, or you overanalyze it. And so right away, you will scratch them off the list as possible potentials, right? They're not being hurtful intentionally. A lot of times they just don't know. So this is where that whole communication comes into effect, right? Because you don't want to scratch off a great potential because he might have said something to hurt your feelings, okay? I understand because I wear my feelings on my sleeve, okay? No one has to guess about what I'm feeling, because I'm going to tell you all about it, all right? But that's just me, all right? So just don't take things so personal. Sometimes we have to give each other grace, and I say that a lot, but it's true. We have to give each other's grace, all right? And my number is, if you are going to start dating and you want to go out here full force, please get rid of the Olin Mills, and I'm dating myself, but get rid of the Olin Mills or the Sears or the JCPenney's photos on your dating profiles, okay? If you're trying to do a dating profile, right? They don't want to see what you look like 10, 20 years ago, okay? If a photo, the way I see it, nowadays with these smartphones that's being as good a picture taken as professional cameras, there's no need to not have a current photo. So if your photo is, I'm going to give you grace and say more than 6 months old, it's time to get a new one on your dating profile, okay? Don't put nothing on there that you 6 months, because 6 months ago you get one more gray hair or one more wrinkle, or you might gain 6 pounds. You understand what I'm saying? Life happens, and trust me, I know about gaining a couple of pounds, because as soon as I start gaining pounds, I can see the difference when I do these YouTube videos. So I get it, okay? But you don't want your dating profile to have a picture that's 6 months ago, right? Because we change, our hair change, everything, all right? So just make sure that you are who you say you are, and don't be deceptive about it. Don't be deceptive about, you know, what you look like, your age, or anything like that. Just don't be deceptive, okay? Just be who you are, because if you take it from online to offline, then guess what? You got to reveal yourself then. And that person's going to feel slighted some kind of way if you look on your picture, you were 10 years younger than you are now, right? So, you know, my number 3, it is okay as women to make the first move. If you're strolling online and you see somebody that is available and single, it's okay to say something first. And if you out shopping and everything, and I say this all the time, ladies, we are so removed from waiting on gentlemen to make the first move, because men have been through a lot, and they have had to deal with certain things, like being, like, you guys know, I don't even want to get into it, but they've had to deal with a lot. So a lot of times they don't know if they should make the first move. And what they'll do, they'll give little signals and eye movement and things like that, or look at you a couple times to let you know. And he's available, he's open. So he's wondering if you're going to take the first move, because maybe there's some things that he's not sure about, right? It's okay to take the first move. So don't get so wrapped up in your mind that he see I'm standing over here, I don't have no ring on, and blah, blah, blah. No, it's okay to make the first move. I'm giving you permission, okay? So if your mother or your grandmother or your aunties and them told you that's, you know, that's the way it's supposed to be, listen, they're speaking about dating in a different generation, okay, where women weren't like we are now, right? Remember, we had the women's movement and all that, so let's show up. We said we wanted this, okay? So some things, now I'm not saying, you know, propose to him. I'm not saying nothing like that, but it's okay to say, hey, how you doing? And I have a video about how to flirt, and I'll make sure I put this in the comments below too, or somewhere in this video where it'll show up as a recommendation, how to flirt. So, that way you'll let him know that you're interested, and yeah, you never know. All right. So that's my number 3. My number 4 is, and it kind of goes into the showing up as who you are and what you look like, but be honest. All right. Be honest. If if they ask you, how long, okay, let me rephrase that. Be honest. Yes. But you don't have to tell a person everything right away. Okay. Like really, like be honest. Like there are stages to conversations and dates and things like that. You just don't go full throttle on date 1 and 2. You don't start talking about sex on date 1. And I got a whole list of things that I'm coming out with as well, where you'll have a topographic where you can see some of the things that need to be talked about on a date, depending on what number date you're on. But anyway, back to this video, right? Be honest about, who you are and what you do and things like that, okay? But you don't have to go into in-depth things. Like, for example, if you are, like I had one person, I was watching this show, and this wasn't my client. Oh my God, I'm getting my words mixed up, but I was watching the show. And this was one of those Married at First Sight shows or something like that. And the guy, finances was very important to him, okay? Finances is very important to him. So one of the things that the woman told him was that she had reached a certain level in the nursing program, right? And so in his mind, she was good. So now she was ready for the next level. Well, in actuality, she had not really graduated from the level that he told her he had graduated at. She had graduated, so she wasn't technically the next level already. So for him, that was deception because she wasn't being honest about it. So to me, when you're trying to move forward and build something with somebody, that's when you start having those serious conversations, right? And you have to be honest about things like that. Now, I know that's a little extreme, but, I think if a guy asks me on date 2, how many partners I've had, first of all, it's a red flag. Let's just be clear there. Let's just be clear there, because that ain't none of his business. However, not only is it a red flag, but even if I was to oblige the question and answer him, I don't have to tell him that because I don't know you. Now, if you're my husband or we're about to get married and we want to have a discussion for whatever reason, even that's personal, but that's another video, then that's a little bit different. But as somebody that we haven't gotten to that level yet, in no way, shape, or form, how dare you grab my pearls? You understand what I'm saying? Because that's not your business, okay? But certain things are just inappropriate, and then certain things are just like, you don't have to tell them everything. And I know my examples are like far field, but trust me, those conversations are being had out here in the dating world. Trust me, they are, okay? And at different levels of dates, all right? So no matter what, be honest, but understand that there's rules to dates, so you don't have to tell them everything. Just tell them on a need-to-know basis, but never lie about the things that you feel that they need to know. Okay, I hope I clarified that. Now, number 5 for this video is don't be so quick to quit. Don't be so quick to quit. As soon as, and I'm speaking on this from 2 different perspectives. Number 1 is you go out, you look on the dating app, and you go out on one date, and you're like, you know what, the heck with this, I quit with this dating app. And so you just give up just like that because one date didn't work out. That's what I mean by that perspective of don't be so quick to quit, right? And I know that's a tongue twister. The other perspective of that is if you start to connect with somebody and they do one thing wrong and you're like, you know what, I knew this wasn't going to work out. I'm just over it, right? You're giving up too quickly, okay? Maybe something was off. Maybe the cues were off. Maybe that person just does something that's really, really small. You have to look at it and say, okay, am I giving this person enough grace? Okay? So understand that. Just don't be so quick to quit. Okay, so that was the other 5 of the things you need to know when you are out here dating over 40. Listen, I probably can make a part 3 to this and a part 4, but I think you guys get the understanding that when it comes to dating at this part of our lives, which is known as midlife, the rules are a little bit different, more grace is given. Like there's so many things that change, right? And you cannot go into it expecting things to be the same way they were when you were in your teens, 20s, and your 30s, okay? Because 40s is something different. Our desires is different. Our needs are different. You know, the way we look at life is different. I mean, there's so many things that are different every time we hit those digits in our lives, you know, because I'm sure once we get in our 50s, even 40s will look like, you know what, I don't even want those things anymore. I just want this, or I'm okay with this being that way in opposed to this. I mean, it changes with every decade of your life. All I can tell you is embrace it and be thankful for it, because you guys know the deal, right? You are blessed if you are able to see it. So don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace, because we are out here all trying to figure it out. This age is new to a lot of us, and we're just trying to unlearn some things that we probably learned along the way. And we've had some failures and some stumps and some bundles, and we just want to do things a little bit different on this, what we call midlife or second half of our lives. So if this is your first time here, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so when I post a video, you'll be the first to know. And if there's anything that you could take away from this conversation, or if it's something you like or didn't like, or you want to add to it, whatever, make sure you put it down below so we can discuss it, okay? And I would love to hear your feedback. And if there's something that you want me to talk about, also send me a little note down below, or you can email me at coachshika@onemore-step.com. All right, thank you for joining me. Talk to you later. Bye.